Now, gay men have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs that you would always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, Special K, and cocaine. Now, see, the cocaine keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle. So that's why you have the Viagra. Now, see, the ketamine, that's a horse tranquilizer, so that relaxes all your muscles. You wouldn't feel a thing.
Now the Sean Diddy Combs investigation. New surveillance video shows Combs being taken into custody in a Manhattan hotel last week. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotursky, is at the scene of his arrest. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Robin. This is the hotel where Sean Combs was arrested a week ago. You can now see how that arrest went down. This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
And Sean Diddy Combs' kids are speaking out for the first time since the music mogul was taken into custody. 4 of his 7 children released a statement on Instagram saying they want to clear up false rumors about their mother. Meanwhile, a new accuser is coming forward.
Never one to hold back, Monique's most recent shocking revelations are rocking the entertainment industry to its foundation. She is shedding light on 2 of the most powerful media personalities, Oprah Winfrey and TD, in a brand new, scathing expose. Jake's in charging them with sinister, dubious deeds that surpass the imagination of the majority of people. Although Monique is no stranger to controversy, this time she is not only venting her frustrations, rather, she is revealing what she perceives to be a pattern of lying, manipulation, and even sacrifice. Monique has had enough of their actions and will no longer remain quiet. In addition to seeing them treat others badly, she has also personally suffered as a result of their concerning behavior. She has had to deal with the consequences of their purported choices throughout her career, each of which has affected both her personal and professional life. She is now coming out, refusing to hold back from naming people and exposing what she perceives to be the unpleasant reality hiding beneath the well-maintained facades of 2 of the most influential people in the profession. Not only is this a tale about what goes on behind closed doors, but it's also about a lady who has had enough and is determined to show the world the consequences of participating in this risky game. Monique is not holding back as she resurrects her long-running battle with Oprah Winfrey. The comic recently discussed her long-running spat with Oprah in depth on the club's Shay Shay podcast, illuminating the conflict that started more than 10 years ago. The animosity stems from the 2009 press tour and Oscar campaign for Precious, when Monique's career was booming as a result of her strong performance in the movie. Monique claims that when Oprah, producer Tyler Perry, and director Lee Daniels of Precious encouraged her to promote the film at the Cannes Film Festival, things took a turn for the worst. Despite the pressure from her co-producers to market the movie abroad, Monique believed that her limited free time was better spent with her family. She reveals that she was labeled as difficult to deal with, a reputation that would accompany her for years when she put her family above a promotional obligation. In particular, Monique is upset with Oprah because she feels that she was betrayed by someone she trusted. She has long maintained that she was unjustly excluded from important Hollywood possibilities due to Oprah's influence as well as pressure from Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry. Monique isn't afraid to call out the behaviors she thinks caused their relationship to fall apart as she retraces the beginnings of their conflict. Behaviors that she believes were a part of a more extensive and deliberate attempt to damage her career. However, Monique's critique of Oprah went far beyond that. Indeed, in 2010, a month after Monique's Oscar win for Precious, the actual conflict between them took a very personal turn. Monique had been outspoken about her brother, Gerald Imes, and the damage he had inflicted on her as a youngster. Oprah invited him to come on her talk program. Oprah was aware of the delicate nature of the matter since Monique had previously spoken about her traumatic experience of being M by her brother. During an interview, Monique said that Oprah had phoned her in advance to inquire about Gerald's presence on the program.
She said my brother wanted to come on the show and talk about him molesting me, and he wanted to tell other parents how to look out for.
Although she was certain that she didn't want to be involved with him, Monique claims she agreed that Oprah should still do the interview in case Gerald had really changed and wanted to make peace. Monique was grateful for Oprah's request for her consent at the time, but in retrospect, she feels deceived by how things turned out. One of the pivotal points in their continuous disagreement was the public revelation of her traumatic past without her direct participation, which widened the gulf. Monique has made it apparent that the conflict was more than simply a work dispute. It was a personal transgression that she hasn't been able to resolve, which has further strained her relationship with Oprah.
I start seeing commercials with my mother and my father and my other brother who used to be my manager, who knew the fear that I had with the brother that was up on stage. You portrayed me, sister. Had Oprah Winfrey said, I'ma have your mama, I'd have said, shut that down.
According to Monique, Oprah failed to inform her that her other relatives will be included on the program. Monique said that Barbara Walters rejected her family's first approach to the interview.
Monique, I told your family, I can't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you. You just won that award. Like, why would I do that?
Monique spoke candidly about Tyler Perry, Tiffany Haddish, and Kevin Hart during a 3-hour interview on Club Sheshi, adding gasoline to the flames of her continuous arguments with these well-known individuals. Shannon Sharpe seems to be rapidly emerging as the person to turn to when you want to express your truth without holding back. Sharpe's platform offers a unique opportunity for unvarnished, unreserved honesty, in contrast to Oprah's interviews, which have traditionally been polished, sanitized, and meticulously selected. Like Cat Williams in his own tense interview with Sharpe, Monique made the most of this candid conversation to voice her complaints. In addition to discussing her problems with Perry and Haddish, she also took aim at the Hollywood system and its propensity to set Black performers against one another. She revealed her feelings about her former co-workers, including charges of exploitation and treachery, without holding back. The well-kept setting of Oprah's garden, where the focus is often on inspirational tales and positive spin, just would not accommodate this kind of unscripted, unfiltered discourse. However, with Sharpe, Monique was free to express anything without worrying about how it might impact her reputation or profession. Celebrities may now finally say their truth, unvarnished and unedited, at Sharpe thanks to this candid interview. Following that, the Parker's alumnus criticized the "You going for Winfrey?" at a recent stand-up performance.
You Oprah Winfrey? You Tyler Perry? That I said it, say it with me. You Oprah Winfrey? You Tyler Perry? You mother. Now some got scared. They was like, you going too far. I love that black raggedy. I love that black simple-minded mother. I love Oprah Winfrey's black. And we just need to bring her back to black. We need to bring that back to mother black. Are you an Oprah Winfrey fan? Yes. Okay, well I'm not apologizing. For any mother thing I say. What's your name, brother? Bill. What did he say? Melvin. We need you to help us bring that back to black. I need you to bend her to over and her like a Nashville, Tennessee would and bring that back to black. Oh, be quiet. You gonna get some money out of it. And every time you see you see gay. Best friends. Is what they say. I've never seen best friends like that. We ain't seen Stephanie in 30 motherfucking years. Who is loving Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King? Each other! But we don't want to say this out loud because it's Oprah Winfrey. I'm too old to be scared of this. I'm too old to be intimidated by this. I'm too old to hold the motherfucking truth.
Along with her scathing comments about Perry, Tiffany Haddish, and Kevin Hart, Monique also discussed a more private matter with the Purple actress, who she says began to accept parts that had previously been given to her. Monique said she had seen a trend where roles she was considered for were abruptly given to the actress, which made her feel marginalized in a field where Black women already had few options. Her misgivings with Hollywood's dynamics, where she believed her work, ability, and potential were being eclipsed by others with greater power or influence, were further exacerbated by this discovery. Monique was more concerned with the larger problems of favoritism and how certain artists always appear to be in the right place at the right time, often at the cost of others, than she was with lost roles. By sharing this portion of her tale, Monique highlighted the more profound structural problems that she feels still impact Black performers, especially women, who are often marginalized in favor of the industry's preferred candidates. Furthermore, Monique is not only accusing Oprah Winfrey, she is demonstrating that the media tycoon is not the only one involved in what she characterizes as a pattern of abuses. TD has been explicitly criticized by Monique in recent interviews. One of the main contributors to the turmoil she has encountered is Jakes, the well-known preacher and media personality. She feels that Jakes and Oprah have conspired to plan a string of betrayals and manipulations in the business, particularly with regard to her career. Monique claims that the two individuals are intricately linked to the power structures in Hollywood and that their influence extends beyond simple personal grudges. According to her, Jakes and Oprah both contributed significantly to the barriers she faced, either by openly opposing her or, worse, by endorsing the wrong individuals. Although Oprah's treachery may have been more well-known, according to Monique, TD Jakes' participation is as harmful. Despite the encouragement and praise she received for her efforts, Monique feels that Jakes has prevented her from advancing professionally, which is the source of her annoyance with him. According to her, Jakes and Oprah are equally guilty of abusing their positions of authority to influence the careers of Black performers, particularly when those performers question the current quo or don't follow Hollywood standards. Monique's charges imply that there is a bigger plot to suppress those who don't align with the goals of the most powerful people in the company, rather than just a personal dispute. When you examine more closely, Monique's charges against TD Jakes may not be as outrageous as they first seem to be. TD Jakes' name just came to light in relation to Sean Diddy Combs' explosive lawsuit, which is full of claims of power abuse and unsettling conduct. The fact that Jakes' name has been connected to such a well-known case raises major concerns about the image he presents and what may really be happening behind the scenes, even though the specifics of his participation are still unclear. For those of you who are unaware, Bishop TD Jakes is included in a recent lawsuit against music tycoon Sean Diddy Combs, which accuses him of trafficking, illicit drug usage, and harassment. Diddy reportedly planned to employ Jakes to improve his public image.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility. The special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
Rodney Lowrod Jones, a music producer, filed the complaint claiming to have photographic evidence and other proof of Diddy's actions. Unlike Diddy, Jakes' name appears in a revealing context, even though he is not a defendant in the case. The complaint claims that Diddy intended to use his connection to the megachurch pastor in Dallas to mitigate the effects of the accusations made by R&B singer Cassie Ventura, who had previously sued Diddy for allegedly engaging in sexual harassment and physical abuse. Even though Jakes is only referenced once in the lengthy court document, the seriousness of the charges against Diddy makes his involvement noteworthy. According to the case, which was submitted in March to a federal court in New York, Jones has indisputable proof of Diddy's schemes involving Jakes. Diddy has a long record of legal issues, including recent claims of federal authorities searching his houses and confiscating guns. This news adds to that list. The position of the pastor and the depth of his relationship with the hip-hop tycoon are called into question by Diddy and Jakes' connection, even if it is indirect. The fact that Jakes' name is now associated with such a controversy feeds into the continuous criticism of influential people in the entertainment and religious industries. This development makes it much more difficult to reject Monique's assertions. Jakes has long portrayed himself as a spiritual leader with a spotless record and a man of God. However, his name has already been connected to scandal. Jakes may not be as innocent as he seems if his purported connections to Diddy's legal issues are real. These fresh disclosures combined with Monique's audacious charges suggest that there may be something more sinister at work. The notion that it's difficult to accept that Jakes and Oprah may be a part of a wider network of influential people working behind the scenes, but it's becoming harder to ignore.
An internationally known preacher based here in Dallas this morning. During a 9 a.m. Sunday service, Bishop TD Jakes of the Potter's House suffered a health incident during a morning
video that's now gone viral. You can see Bishop Jakes finished his Sunday sermon and then got quiet, seemed to shake, the crowd reacting before several people rushed on stage.
For those connected to Diddy, things are becoming more complicated every day, and crazy hypotheses are sprouting online. TD Jake's strange ailment has become the town's talk of the town, making him a significant feature. The bond between Diddy and TD Jakes is garnering even more attention since there are speculations that the two go out together. Many have compared this circumstance to Jamie Foxx's unexplained sickness and hospitalization, which similarly raised questions about his involvement with Diddy's gatherings. What really become of TD Jakes then? During this morning's morning service, which was held inside the Potter's home in Dallas, the megachurch pastor seemed to be experiencing some kind of health issue. Jake caused everyone quite a shock in his Sunday sermon, Bishop Diddy. The 67-year-old preacher abruptly cried, "O Lord, my strength, my Redeemer, let them go in peace," as he was giving his stirring sermon. Then he put down his microphone and became quiet. A few moments later, he seemed to tremble violently as he sat, shocking everyone in his vicinity. People in the area quickly sprung into action and hurried to his aid. The assembly was very alarmed by the sudden change of events. In a now viral video, Bishop Jakes concludes his Sunday sermon, then becomes silent and seems to tremble. The audience reacts, and suddenly a number of individuals rush on stage. People were yelling, backing away, and giving him room in the heated church. Everyone became even more worried when the church's live feed was abruptly taken off in the middle of the pandemonium. The occasion became much more solemn when someone off-camera requested the crowd and watchers online to start praying. Those eagerly awaiting news were relieved when Jake's team quickly released an update on X, previously Twitter, to let everyone know how he was doing. Bishop TD Jakes had a minor health crisis during today's service and was given prompt medical care after his stirring one-hour speech. According to the statement, Bishop Jakes is stable and receiving medical attention. The statement went on to say that the whole Potter's House family is appreciative of the community's love, prayers, and support. We appreciate your patience and ongoing prayers. Online admirers speculated that Jake had had a stroke after the occurrence, but his team has not acknowledged the specifics of the tragedy. What really ignited social media was the reappearance of old allegations about Jamie Foxx's unexplained stroke. Diddy reportedly had a role in the event to make sure Jamie remained quiet and didn't reveal any secrets, according to long-running online speculations. People are already making comparisons and wondering whether TD Jakes could have had a similar situation. These irrational thoughts are fueled by the mystery surrounding his condition, which has not yet been established. Was there more to the tale? Choke No Joke, who revealed some serious information regarding Diddy and Jamie Foxx, was the source of the conspiracy. According to a video posted by Comedy Hype on November 1st, Choke said that Jamie Foxx blamed Diddy for his hospitalization in 2023. Foxx made the startling claim on October 7th during a private screening of his new comedy special on Netflix. What had happened was, according to Choke, Foxx allegedly claimed that Diddy had poisoned him. You heard correctly, but there's more. Choke mentioned yet another astounding tale in the same video. He said that at one of Diddy's events, Foxx was assaulted by Diddy's security just for recording. I mean, Jamie was allegedly filming and allegedly did, he added. Then AA didn't film, he informed them, or whatever. Choke went on. After that, Jamie is said to have been harmed by Diddy's bodyguard. Following that, Jamie supposedly received a pill, and he ended up in the hospital after taking the drug. Shortly after, 3 attendees of Jamie Foxx's Netflix special screening said the actor had implied that Diddy could be connected to his unexplained sickness. The footage was released. This was covered by Page 6 on October 24th, which fueled the speculation. Choke addressed the issue in the video, noting that some people could dismiss it as a joke since Foxx allegedly made these comments during a comedy show. Choke, however, would not have it. He explained his position promptly. You may joke about his disease, he added. He could be okay, in my opinion, but because you're claiming that he made that statement during the comedy special, it's possible that it was a joke. Therefore, I assume that his admission to the hospital was a joke if such were the case. I want to, since he was never really explicit about that. He is unmistakable on stage. The issue has been discussed by Choke No Joke before. According to the story on Page 6, Foxx reportedly said on the program that Diddy was to blame for his misfortune and that Foxx was the one who called the federal government on him. During the program, Jamie Foxx claims that Diddy called the FBI on him and was accountable for his misfortune. Jamie wound up in the hospital after Diddy and his security reportedly beat him up.
Jamie Foxx states in the special that Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and he is the one that called the FBI on him.
He attempted to make light of his health crisis there. But those jokes didn't feel like jokes at all, Choke said. He just went and fired his special now. And on whom is the specific solid foundation built? Diddy. Choke wasn't sure whether Foxx was kidding when he was questioned. Although he was new to comedy, he said that he could distinguish between a joke and someone being serious, but he claimed it was up to the audience to judge when they saw the performance.
And now he just went and shot his special. And who's special strongly based around? Diddy.
This depicts Diddy and Jamie Foxx's relationship as being severely damaged. In retrospect, the two really got along well for a time. Foxx hosted one of his own parties to attempt to impress Diddy back when he was shooting his renowned events.
New comedian, right? I've learned and learned from game. I know when somebody's setting up a punchline, and I know when you're serious.
Diddy sided with Foxx as they were shooting a party in Philadelphia in 2001, saying, "You know how much this party cost $1 million?" in response. Foxx said that for only $400, he could host a similar party at his home in Los Angeles. Diddy accepted the offer a few weeks later. Foxx invited everyone he knew, including celebrities and socialites, and produced a memorable party. Foxx began using his networking abilities in a novel manner during this occasion, which ultimately resulted in successful singles. However, things took a bad turn, as we all know. It's crazy how their relationship has degenerated, from partying together to being accused of trying to kill themselves. However, given Jamie's recuperation and Diddy's issues, many would argue that Jamie emerged victorious. Choke also mentioned Jamie's decision to contact the federal authorities on Diddy. Jamie then reacted by alerting him to whatever Puff was doing in order to stop him, much like his Get Back. Foxx has spoken candidly about his partying days and the renowned parties he hosted, which were inspired by none other than Hugh Hefner, whom he had loved since he was a small boy. Additionally, he spent a lot of time partying with Diddy, even seeing a peek of the music mogul's darker side while he was intoxicated. But he had other plans than partying. Foxx was there to network as well. Tim Ferriss discussed how he utilized that method to start his music career while advancing in his profession as a comedian on his podcast. Foxx joked that he kept note of every relationship he created and sought out possibilities that would advance his career so long as he had something to contribute in exchange, and that he was the first social media person without social media. Diddy was one of those important contacts. Foxx made a move a few years after releasing his first R&B album in 1994, which received little notice. In an attempt to get into one of Diddy's exclusive parties, he began to follow his group around Los Angeles. Foxx determined he could provide Diddy with something of value, his skills as a cameraman before the invention of portable cameras or camera phones. He once inquired, "Yo Puff, may I record?" while following Diddy to a club equipped with a massive VHS camera. Diddy consented after recognizing Foxx from his TV roles, and the actor ended up shooting his party that evening. Foxx was immediately summoned back to shoot other events for Diddy in the next years after the assignment went well. Foxx has not yet completely disclosed his odd health difficulties, which he believes were caused by things he saw and experienced at these events. People who work closely with Diddy or hang out with him are said to know more secrets than anybody else. Rumor has it that the problem is becoming worse since those who are purportedly aware of Diddy may feel compelled to clear his route and quiet anybody who would come forward with information on him. Pastor T.D. Jakes reportedly had a medical emergency during a Sunday sermon today, according to a tweet from an X user. First of all, it's incredible that despite the Diddy accusations, this man is still preaching. Secondly, I am unsure whether I believe what transpired today. To put it mildly, the timing is intriguing. Trying to feel sorry for T.D. Jakes, but something tells me not to, remarked another person. There have been claims recently that T.D. Jakes has been having affairs with guys and going out with Diddy. These allegations startled many, who questioned how a clergyman could participate in homosexual ass parties held by Diddy, also known as music producer Sean Puffy Combs. According to the claims, which have gone viral on YouTube and TikTok, Jakes nurtured a previous protege and engaged in ass encounters with males at Combs gatherings. In a video posted to the church's website, Jake 66 addressed the claims during the Christmas Eve service and called the accusers liars. He went on to say that all he would have to do, even if the reports were accurate, would be to really apologize from his heart. Would you all just quit worrying about me and give God some credit, honor, and praise instead? In a public live video that was later turned private, Jake said, "I can feel you, I'm all right, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. The guy for the task is me. I'm doing okay." If all of this were true, he carried on with the worst possible outcome. "I just need to really repent from the bottom of my heart. The blood has sufficient power to atone for all sins. Blood would repair anything, regardless of what it is, but I don't have to feel bad about this." Jake went on to say that he preferred to preach throughout the service rather than deal with misinformation. "You can all log off if you expect me to address a lie," Jake remarked. However, according to a widely shared TikTok video, Jake had sex with many guys during Combs' events. On the platform, the video has received over 1.7 million views. Additionally, the video claimed that Jake had slept with an unnamed former mentee when he was a kid years ago. According to the video, the boy's parents were bought off to remain silent, but the mentee reportedly intends to come out shortly. Given that Diddy has previously thrown parties of this kind and is now facing allegations of saint and racketeering, many found this to be easy to believe. Additionally, TD Jakes and Diddy have been seen together a lot and seem to be close. People started to wonder whether there was any truth to the reports when similar charges surfaced again, believing that TD Jakes could have been engaged in Diddy's operations. Diddy's abrupt illness may have been caused by TD Jakes, according to several admirers, who may have been a crucial piece of incriminating evidence against him. He may have been intimidated or silenced, according to certain theories. Although Jamie Foxx made it through his trauma, there is optimism that TD Jakes will as well, and the truth will finally be revealed. Bishop Jakes spoke with his usual eloquence, describing the extent of the torture he had to endure. With a tone that was both serious and appreciative, he said, "Many of you don't realize you're looking at a miracle." After experiencing a potentially fatal situation, I was taken to the intensive care unit and had emergency surgery, which I managed to survive. These remarks captured not just the physical difficulties he faced, but also the deep spiritual development he experienced during those crucial times. He acknowledged the frailty of life and the great grace that, in his opinion, got him through the ordeal with humility. Millions of people worldwide have long found solace in Bishop Jakes, who is well known for his stirring sermons and motivational sayings. His most recent survival story is another example of the power of faith and tenacity in the face of adversity. The news of his recovery has been a source of joy for those who care about him, and his remarks today have only strengthened the ties of love and support among his supporters. The tone of the bishop's speech was one of triumph and introspection rather than self-pity. He emphasized to his congregation the unpredictability of life and the need of being psychologically and spiritually ready for any unexpected obstacles. His survival tale struck a deep chord because it demonstrated not only the mental and spiritual toughness needed to come out stronger on the other side, but also the physical tenacity needed to overcome such a serious health issue. There has been a tremendous outpouring of sympathy as word of Bishop Jakes' recovery spreads. Globally, followers, fellow clergy, and lovers have showered social media platforms with well wishes, prayers, and words of love. Many have shown their appreciation for his openness and bravery in disclosing such a private and sensitive time. His readiness to share his experience has served as a reminder to his followers that faith can be a strong compass in turbulent times, and that even leaders who possess strength and knowledge are susceptible to life's setbacks. The testimony given by Bishop Jakes today is a potent reminder of both the brittleness of life and the possibility of miracles even in the most hopeless situations. His church and friends are supporting him while he recovers, motivated by his fortitude and the important teachings he is imparting. After his recent health crisis, Bishop T.D. Jakes sent a moving message of hope and resiliency, expressing his deep thanks to his worldwide network of supporters and recognizing the expertise of his medical staff. He started by thanking everyone who has been thinking of him and praying for him throughout this trying time, highlighting the importance of their love and support in helping him get well. In keeping with his usual upbeat demeanor, Bishop Jakes reassured everyone that he is following his doctor's recommendation to put his health first and slow down for the foreseeable future. He said, "I want you to keep the faith with warmth and a message of encouragement that went beyond his own experience. I'm feeling upbeat. I'm feeling well. I'm not hurting. I also want you to know that your prayers are felt by me." The The bishop acknowledged the group prayers given on his behalf, demonstrating the close bond he has with his flock and the larger international audience that his ministry has inspired over the years. His thankfulness was evident as he attributed his continued recovery to both divine favor and the unwavering prayer of his followers. In a vulnerable moment, Bishop Jakes also disclosed that he would be stepping back from his often rigorous schedule in order to comply with his doctor's directions. Stressing the need of self-care and giving his body the time it requires to heal completely, he declared his plan to take a few weeks off and relax in order to concentrate on his recovery. The bishop assured his community that his spirit is still strong and that his dedication to his calling reflects the wisdom and humility that have always been hallmarks of Bishop Jakes' leadership. Even though those used to his frequent appearances and teachings may feel a void as a result of this brief break in his active ministry, he continues to exemplify the values of faith and tenacity that he has advocated throughout his career by being so open about his struggle. His resolve to welcome this time of rest and recovery is a potent reminder of how crucial it is to pay attention to one's body and put one's health first, especially when faced with demanding obligations. Bishop Jakes' openness and fortitude throughout this period have only increased his appreciation among his millions of followers. His message has spread far, serving as a reminder of the restorative potential of religion, prayer, and community. His church and supporters throughout the world continue to pray fervently for him while he recovers, anticipating his complete recovery and his ongoing leadership. In response to her father's recent health concern, Sarah Jakes Roberts, the daughter of Bishop T.D. Jakes and a strong voice in her own right, offered a profoundly moving and sincere prayer that has touched many people worldwide. Sarah, who was well known for her courage, composure, and unshakable faith, provided a unique window into the intense vulnerability that accompanies seeing a loved one go through such a harrowing ordeal. Sarah reacted with a combination of sadness, thankfulness, and an unwavering faith in the efficacy of prayer when word spread of her father's stroke and the ensuing emergency operation. Sarah conveyed the flurry of emotions she had upon learning the heartbreaking news in an emotional yet optimistic speech that she shared with her followers. "My heart was broken when I received the phone," and she started speaking in a voice that broke under the stress of the situation. "You never see the person who has always been your pillar of support and your beacon of hope, lying in a hospital bed, struggling to survive. All I could do was scream to God because it seemed like time had stopped." Her description of the suffering and powerlessness she went through struck a profound chord with many who had gone through such uncertain times. As a mother and pastor, Sarah turned to her community and religion at this trying time, inspiring her followers to join her in praying for her father. "With his love, writings, and sermons, my dad has given so much of himself to so many of us. It's our time to pour into him now," she said fervently. "That night, I knelt next to my bed and prayed in a way I had never done before. We still need him, so I prayed to God to cure him, give him strength, and return him to us. He is still needed by the globe." Sarah prayed for God to help her father get through this difficult time, praising the incredible legacy he has left behind and the many people he has impacted. "My father has endured so much in his life because of you, Lord. You have given him the ability to guide, uplift, and mend shattered hearts. But he needs to be healed immediately, Lord. Be the comforter for his suffering, the source of his strength again, and the fulcrum of his spirit." As the days went by, Sarah gave her followers tidbits of her journey, from heartfelt introspection to thankfulness as her father started to show signs of recovery. "It felt like a miracle in itself to see him smile again," she added. There was comfort and delight in her voice.